The 2019 NBA draft. The Cavs with the 5th pick took Darius-Garland. They also ended up taking Dylan-Windler, and then they ended up trading into the back end of the first round to get Kevin Porter Jr. Kevin Porter Jr. does not officially become a Cavalier until that trade can be completed at the beginning of the season, the financial season for the NBA, which is in July. Today, the first 2 picks, Windler and Darius-Garland, and the Cavs Brain Trust met with the media to discuss the Cavs draft class of 2019.
I think I'm a pretty vocal leader as a young age, and just putting my teammates where it needs to be. I think that's a hidden for me.
Terry Pluto, cleveland.com, Cleveland Plain Dealer. Darius, when you had that private workout for the Cavaliers, what did you do to impress them? And then what did they ask you maybe that either surprised you or whatever? So talk about that workout.
I think I shot the ball really well in the private workout. I think that's what caught Coach's eye. But I just went out and just did me. Just went over the drills that I always do every day. Believe I shot the ball at a high clip, like I said. So I think that caught a lot of people's eyes.
Did you think that you could be a first-round pick?
Yeah, I definitely thought I could be. I didn't want to set too many expectations because, you get caught up on, numbers and this and that and where you think you're going to get picked, and sometimes you can get let down. So I kind of just went into it with an open mind and knowing that, a year ago from today, if I thought I would be even close to being in this situation, that I would be, more than happy with that. So I kind of just went in with that mindset and just was going to be happy with whatever happened.
Coach Beilein, you like the 2-guard system. Could you touch on the prospect of having both Darius and Colin in your backcourt?
Yeah, we talked about that a lot. It's a great question because it is truly a 2-guard front, and it opens the floor so much for everyone because you can put people in the corners. So he's sort of like a corner guy. He's sort of like the guys out front. The court's open, and it really allows the guards to have so much more freedom. And if you have 2 of them, and that's the traditional way it is, whether it was, back at Michigan, Trey Burke and Tim Hardaway back there, or Karis LeVert and Derek Walton. It was just sort of this open court that allowed them to really have a lot of freedom. At the same time, they got to be very, great teammates that see each other, can score for their own, but also find the open shooters. So the 2 of them are going to be beautiful together, to answer your question in a much shorter way. And they're going to make me a much better coach than I am.
Marla Ridenour, Akron Beacon Journal. Coach, how does that, and Darius, maybe you could answer that when he's done, but how long does it take to develop the kind of symbiosis, I guess, or something that you need for that kind of system? Can it happen the first year?
Yeah, I don't think the type of young men they both are. We talked with Colin this when this became a possibility, and he was all in favor of it as well. And then we told when we went out to visit Darius last week, and we spoke with him about him, and he was like, you just look what Portland's done with those terrific guards, and it's worked very well. I don't think it's going to take very long at all.
Dylan, we talked about you guys both being in Nashville. What was it like putting kind of Belmont on your shoulders? First tourney appearance, first tourney win. You were the biggest, obviously the best player in a mid-major. What's it like making that transition from now to the pros?
Yeah, it's been a pretty smooth transition. Obviously, it's a bit different coming from Belmont. Obviously, coming to the pros, but being able to lead Belmont is a great program, and being able to play alongside for Coach Bird and help him get those wins in the tournament, and ultimately just represent Belmont and all mid majors everywhere is definitely an honor.
Dylan, I wanted to ask you what your range is like off the golf tee.
I actually played with Coach Bird yesterday morning to try to just go out and ease the nerves a little bit and have some fun, and I hit one 350 off the tee, so that is their answer.
Hey, and playing at a school like Belmont, the OVC had a really nice year this year. Was there a worry that you'd be overlooked, or were you pretty confident that as long as you played your game, the NBA was going to find you?
Yeah, I wasn't too, caught up or worried on, whether I was going to get picked or not, things like that. I was just trying to, focus on myself and just help, Belmont be the best it can be, and ultimately, try to lead them in the NCAA tournament, which we did, and just try to become the best player I can be. And, if that, helps me end up, playing in the NBA and, get picked in the NBA draft, then that comes with it. But I was just trying to focus on myself and get better and try to be the best player that I could be.
To only play 4 games in college, I know you went to Vandy because of Coach Drew and things like that. How tough was that to have to sit out? And what did you learn about yourself while sitting out and waiting to play basketball for so long?
It was really challenging for me. This is the first time I've ever been away from the game that I really love. So it was really hard. But, everyone faces adversity. I got over the hump, and, that's in the past now. I'm ready to get going in Cleveland.
Name's Joe Varden from The Athletic. I spoke with Coach Drew a little bit last night, and he was saying that among the many things that you've done development-wise, he said you played with pros over the summer in Tennessee, and he named, I think, Robert Covington maybe as one. Can you tell us a little bit about those games, who was there, and just sort of what you got out of them, and maybe how that helped you turn into the player that you are right now?
Just having that challenge against pros, it's a lot of talent around in Nashville, as you can see. 2 Nashville kids on the podium today. But, yeah, it was a lot of challenges during the summer. Robert Covington, John Jenkins, Damian Jones coming back. And, we just had some pickup games and just played really hard and competed against each other.
Whether it was at Canisius or Lemoyne or whatever in high school, and said you do an inordinate amount of shooting early in the practice. Was that a common thread here in these 3 picks? Obviously, guys that can fire away.
If you follow any of the really successful teams, you can just seeing more and more of it. So I think that obviously seeing Darius shoot it was was really good. And not that you can play with a lot of different point guards and still win, but I felt as soon as and we felt collectively as soon as we got Darius with that type of ability. Now got to give him more space now, right? And the space comes from Dylan. So. And so it's just having more shooters on the court. Still got to be able to know how to play, willing to defend. Have some quickness about them as well, and all these guys do. But the more shooters you got on the court, that's who's winning right now. There's no question about it.